Welcome guys, it's WOR, the first round of the season, and it's also my return to WOR Tier 2. So let's get into it, and please give a like and a subscribe for more content. Here we go. So here we go guys, we're going to be coming out of the pit lane. And the team, what we signed for is for Williams Racing, a bit like on the last video. If you want to go and check that out, and especially for my hot lap series, I'll be posting hot lap videos shortly. If you want to have a look at the calendar, here it is. We go to Australia, and then we go to Spain, and then into Belgium, then to Texas, then we go to Monaco, we go to Baku, then we go to Silverstone, and then we go to Imola, after that Japan, and finally we go to Abu Dhabi for the season finale. Sure, it's going to be a really exciting season from round 1 all the way to round 10, and hopefully you won't miss out on any content. As we see here, we're going to be going on an out lap here. So here we go, we start our first lap of the season, and my first lap since the last time I've been in WOR, so the first lap of my return to WOR. So here we go, turn 1, turn 2, looking very decent indeed. Looking to get a very good first sector. I'm going to have to do decent braking into turn 3. Very well controlled and good battery management. As Schumacher became the first guy, got into the 14.9s, and then Vertigo got into the 14.8 banker. That's pretty good from him. As we go through the penultimate corners, we see a McLaren spun out. As we make sure we get a decent exit towards the last corner. Got 23% of the battery, going to drain it all to the line. And what time do we do? And the time what we do is a 15.1, and that puts us 4th fastest. And I got overtaken by Chris, who did a 15.0, which is quite good. And the only sectors I needed to improve are the sector 1 and sector 3, because that's where I lose time. Sector 2 I'm actually fine at. So we're in the middle, ending sector 1 with our lap, and hopefully is a lot better than last time, as we're nearly up a 10. As we're going to get a good exit, and we do get a really good exit. And as you see here, we're a little bit frustrated with ourselves because we overused the battery, which is a bit of a bugger for me. Excuse my language here. And we've lost the 10th, and hopefully we need to try and get it back as we go downshifted to gear 3. And we have a snap at the last corner, and that has impacted on it, and we can't improve, so we have to go back in the pits and see if we can go for another one to try and improve on our time. And as I noticed, P5 and P6 were locked in because they retired in qualifying and they couldn't get another lap done. So if I improve, I could be in a very comfortable position for a top 5 in qualifying, which is going to be quite good for a tier like this for me, especially on a return to racing after time off. Okay, let's listen what we do on that last lap. Unfortunately, we have lost a load of time in the last sector because we overused the battery and we've messed up qualifying, and that is not what we wanted to see. And here's quality results as Vertigo gets pole position for the opening round of the year. Yanni 2nd, Schumacher 3rd, Gnome 4th, Christian 5th, Jensen 6th, Chris 7th, me 8th, Nico. Then it's Max the top 10, and it's Langman crowding, Simba in P13, follow his channel, and Flame in P14. And now it's time to pick strategy-wise today. So the strategy, what we're going to do is we're going to be starting on mediums, because most of the grid is starting on mediums, and then we're going to try and go on hards all the way until the end and see what we can do in the 29 laps of the first race of this season. Are we ready to go? Let's go. So here we go. We have 5 red lights ahead of the drivers, and we're P8 on the grid. And the season 21 season is go, and we get a pretty decent launch out there. And AMX Max is on the soft time, making sure we have to keep him behind because he's going to be dead in now. We do give him space, and Nico goes past me, and I see as I go down to P9, and there's yellow flags at the back. There is a yellow flag at the back, and there must be some kind of incident. Let's check the replay from the back.
Crowding, you've just put Langman into my fuck's sake.
And it was indeed Crowding, crashed, making Simba wreck his front wing. Poor Simba, I feel so sorry for that start. But anyway, moving on, as Chris gets overtaken by Nico, and the road is quite narrow, in fact. So I had to keep behind Chris and making sure Flame doesn't get past me, as the virtual safety car has been deployed, and a guy named AMS Max has been crashed out of the race. And that means we have to slow down and no overtaking allowed, and we are in P9, so a bit of an alright start but not the best. But now VSC's ending and we're sitting in P9. We have to get a good launch and making sure we get a good launch, and we do get a good launch, and we actually close a little bit up to Chris as we get back up to Racing C once again. As through we start sector 2, here we go, and Jensen has been overtaken and now is about to be under pressure from Chris as we go through that long straight before heading down into turns 9 and 10. And looking behind me, Flame is all the way right at the back of me, and he think he might want to move, and he does attempt to go for a move down the inside, so I must give him space, and we go wheel to wheel round the last corner. And in fact Flame wanted to go by, so I just let him go, so then we're not risking causing a collision. And we have Wards right behind, so we have to keep Wards behind me as we go onto the 3rd lap of the race. And looking behind Wards is Bobbert, the lobby hoster, as I do need to try and stick behind Flame for now and try and keep in the DRS for as much as I can. The good news is don't drop out the DRS as you can, and go into sector 3. We are still in P9, which we were at the start, but now starting the 4th lap of the Australian Grand Prix. As through turns 13 and 14 we go, and to start the 4th lap we've only got 5th half battery left, so we've got to try and save some. As you see, Chris might be in a battle, but he's just breaking the slipstream to prevent Flame going by as we go down the the lakeside. And we just can chill out for now as we're going through turns 9 and 10, making sure it's all nice and decent. As you see, Flame is about to be dropping out of the DRS, so we have to get past Flame as soon as possible to try and catch up to the train in front. Otherwise it's not going to go well. As you see, we are managing our tyres very well, and my key to this game is managing my tyre so it doesn't go out, as tyres do degrade quicker. As on to ending sector 1, as you see, Flame goes very wide and he makes a very big mistake, and actually that means we go past him, and that means we've got to use all of that battery to try and get into the DRS behind the Mercedes, as we easily pass him down Lakeside and going down through turns 9 and 10, making sure it's all decent. As you see, Jensen has got a 3-second time penalty, so that means we go up a place after the race if it stands like this. And the good news is we are into DRS of Chris. That means we are cooking this race as we go on to the 7th lap of the Australian Grand Prix, going into turns 1 and 2, making sure we get a very good corner, and we do, to make sure we stay in DRS as much as possible, as Wards is 6 behind, and Crowding is about to be catching up because he's on a set of hard compound tyres. And as once again through Lakeside Drive, we just closed a little bit on Chris. As you see, they are in a train battling against, I think, the other Ferrari, not Schumacher, because Schumacher is right behind. And you see, we've got to try and pull away from Crowding before he starts catching up. You know our tyre is going to degrade. And you see a puff of smoke coming out in turn 11 as we go into turn 12, and here we go, as we need to get a good exit. As you see, 1.4, 1.5, a second and a half. As you see, Chris had a little snap, and you see Chris is pitted. I don't know why Chris will pit, and the bad news is we have lost DRS, and now that is affected on our time, and we've now dropped back from Christian, and Crowding is right behind. He's about a second behind me, about to get DRS. That has put a little bit of an effect on our race, and I'm a little bit disappointed to hear that, but moving on. And we are thinking of when we have to box, because we need to pit at some point, and my engineer decided we have to pit now, so I let Crowding go. As you see, Nico's gone in as well. So we follow Nico in, and we're going to pit on a set of hard compound tyres, and we're going to try and manage them all the way to the end. So in we go. We're going to be pitting for hard tyres, and let's see where we come out. See, Chris has easily got bung, and let's see. Jensen's going to get past me, but apparently I got told he's got a speeding penalty, so I won't worry about Jensen too much as his tyre is older, as we are going to easy catch by, but I think Wars was a little bit of a threat. And as you see, a couple of laps later, as Christian's come out, and apparently Wars has just come in the pit lane. And the second good news is Christian's has come out and he just gave us back the DRS, so we are back in the game, and we've got to try and at least accomplish to try and keep in the DRS as much as possible. And we have to also save battery because we are a little bit low. We're about got a quarter of battery. We've got 30%. As we go lap 13, on the way through the lakeside we go, and we've got to try and be as close as possible. At least other good news is we don't have Flame behind, because I know he can be a little bit blah 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 at times, but don't worry about that. As through turns 9 and 10 we go, making sure it's all nice and flat, and we have to use a little bit of battery, even though, and he just increased the gap by 7 to 8 tenths as we have to recharge battery. And just as we go a couple laps later, he just pulled away, because I think I probably made a little mistake there, and we are low on battery, so we're kind of a little bit screwed there. But I got told by Beetle that Jensen is going to drop very soon, so he can get back into his DRS very, very shortly, with Gnome and Christian needing to get back past Jensen. And as we are over halfway through this race, as we go through turn 11, and you see Flame and Bobbers are having a little bit of a scrap. Bobbers has got 6 second of penalty, so they are having a little battle. They're 6-7 seconds behind me, and we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to try and close that gap as much as we can. But the bad news is Christian's got the boost from the DRS, which is a bit disappointing as we start lap 16 through turn 1 and turn 2, making sure we don't have any snaps, making sure it's all nice and flat. At least he's 2 seconds ahead. We have to close more if we want to try and get back in the DRS train, as Crowding is in the lead on hard tyres, but we should be closing the gap up to Jensen very shortly. As normal, end of sector 1, start sector 2 through turn 6, turn 7, turn 8, making sure we get very good. And we actually closed up a little bit, but he's going to get even more boost because the DRS is just very powerful around that track. As you see, Jensen has got 16 second of time penalties from what I see, and he's on a lap older tyres, and I think he's been using that, and I've been saving them tyres. And if we can go till the end, apparently I think we can get very good tyres, but we've got the second oldest tyres, so it's going to be a hard one unless something pulls out the back. As through the penultimate corner we go, and down to the final corner of lap 16, we're going to be starting lap 17, as Chris is going to be going in, and Crowden's gone in as well. Chris is going for his second stop at the race, as yellow flags at the back. Somebody's retired in the pits, as probably somebody's had a bad race, but we just have to focus. And Crispy's left us there. Oh, it's Crispy. Yes, it is Crispy. He's actually retired, but shame that he took my DRS off me. Yeah, I could have had a bit better than that. But moving on, as we are ending sector 1, as through turn 5, and then we're going into turn 6, turn 7 and turn 8. We have closed we're now in the 1.8 barrier, which is actually quite good, and Christian's going to get past Jensen. As through the lakeside we go, Christian easily passes Jensen, and the gap rises up apparently, and the gap behind is 7.9 with Bobbers, so we're just absolutely fine. And apparently we're still behind Jensen 1.6, and do you know what happens? And I do not believe it. A full safety car has just come out, and we are back in the race, and we are in a hunt to go for that podium spot while in P6. So we have to box for a full brand new set of medium tyres, as we got one there. So as everyone goes into the pits except Schumacher, which is staying out. Now that's going to put a huge effect on it. And despite, I've heard him push someone off the track, so he might be getting a post-race pen. So in we go, we pit for our medium tyres. As it's lap 19, we have 11 laps to go, we are behind Gnome. We are in P5 at the minute, with Yanni with a 3-second of time penalty, and Crowding is apparently think he's going back on another set of hards, or is it old set? We have to check. But anyway, as the safety car comes in this lap, we have got 8 laps to go, and let's see who's going to be winning the opening race of the season. Could we even do this? That'd be cooking if we did that. As you see here, we need to try and get a good safety car launch to try and keep Yanni behind. And here we go as we start lap 22 out of 29. Yanni's all the way around the back. He's got a 3-second of time penalty, which it is removable. So Yanni will. So we've got to watch out for Yanni, but we've also got to look in front. As you see, Gnome dives down the inside of Christian in the Mercedes, and we're going to try and look for a move to go around the inside, but there's just no room, as we're not risking moves because the track is quite narrow. We don't want to crash out of the race, and we don't want to be put under serious pressure from Yanni behind. And Crowding's going to be a kind of a threat to the end, so we've got to also watch out for Crowding as we burn all the battery through the lakeside. As we go to lap 23 with a few more laps to go, we close in a little bit as through turn 9 and turn we go, as Yanni's still all the way in the back of me, so we've got to try and defend it from him, as well as keeping behind him. Is he's going to try and look for around the outside. We do try and force him a bit wide, but as long as we keep it enough track, we did give him enough space here. But and through turn 12, turn 13 and 14, as we go through the penultimate one, lap 24, 29, as we're starting through turn 9, 10, as Yanni is nearly half a second behind me, so we don't have to worry too much as we go through turns 11 and 12 and into turn 13 and 14, as we need to still get past Schumacher, as he's looking on very old tyres, and we've got 35% battery, as we need to drain all of it, as Yanni's closed up a bit, and Crowding is a little bit far behind, but he's still in the DRS train. As we go to lap 25, we're on the penultimate lap of the race, and it's going to be a little bit of drama as Christian does push Schumacher off the track, and apparently our ERS has been messing around, and apparently we went very wide and we just clipped the wall, which my wheel has been a bit of a pain in the arse today, all thanks to that wheel. I think it's because the A button is being a pain, but we're going to have a little fix to it. It's only just a little bit of damage, which is fine, and anyway, we can still get at least P4, maybe P3, as through turns 9 and 10 we go. And we get to pick up another warning. We've got to be very careful. We're going to pick up a penalty. We go very wide. And how is that possible to get 3-second of time penalty? I think the track limits are finding a little bit too strict. But the good side of it is Crowden's also got a 3-second of time penalty for track limits as well. So we can keep track position. And Simba's right behind as well. And thanks to him, if you want to go and watch his YouTube, feel free to, as Simba's right behind him. As you're going to look through his POV, is he going to battle him? He's going to try and hold up Crowding so he doesn't get me, as him and Simba's going to go wheel to wheel, as Simba does help me. Thank you so much to Simba for allowing me to keep the position, as we go through the last corner, and we're going to be finishing in P5 on the track. But let's see what happens during post race. And that was a very good first race, but I'm a little bit gutted that the wheel did my head in today by giving me that wing damage, but I'll take that. So here are the provisional race results here. As you see, Gnome 93 has won ahead of Christian in second, Schumacher came in third, Yanni fourth, myself in P5, Crowden, Simba, Langman, Flame, and then Bobbits round up the top 10, and then it's Nico, Jensen, Wars and Crispy, who didn't finish the race. Unfortunately, due to a 1 second time penalty to Gnome for an incident with Christian, Gnome drops down to P3. That means Christian has won, Schumacher's second, and all the results outside the podium remain the same. And thank you very much for watching my WR highlights, and we'll see you very soon. And take care. Please like and subscribe for more content. Take care. Goodbye.